Hi everybody, I am back for the second time tonight. I just want to give you a little bit more information on situation in Ukraine. Unfortunately, I did listen to some news today and they do not look very promising, let's put it like that. Today, they closed the subway. So the subway in Kiev, Ukraine, which is a major metropolitan city, the subway is closed. Of course, they did it with the idea of keeping people safe from each other, from the exposure of the virus, and that's why it's closed. It's incredible, extreme inconvenience because subway in Kiev, Ukraine, is a major way of transportation. A lot of people are still going to work because if they stop going to work, they won't die from coronavirus, they will die from starvation. So we all need to understand that it's really a double-edged sword. From one side, quarantine and extreme measures help to stop the spread of the virus, but from another side, not every economy can handle the virus, and not every economy can handle people not going to work, right? Not every economy can allow the person stay home and receive governmental help or receive an excuse from paying certain credit cards or loans. It seems that in the United States they make it mandatory for mortgage companies and loan companies and banks to give extension to people and give some time for people to recover, as far as I understand. So in Ukraine, it ain't gonna happen in Ukraine. So people are stressed out about how they are going to keep living and how they're gonna stay alive, and a lot of them not worrying as much about coronavirus as they worrying about not being able to make it and pay their bills and buy food because of major interruption, because of working places closing, because, and as I mentioned earlier, the subway had been shut down, which is a major, it's subway in Kiev, Ukraine. I was born and I grew up in Ukraine, in Kiev. It's my native city. Subway is the heart of the town. Okay, it's a major machine that connects this huge city from different points, and even if you have a vehicle in the times of the hour, how to say this, in a rush hour, it's much faster to hop on a subway than try to go through traffic jam downtown somewhere. So anyway, people are pretty much very concerned about this. Um, One of my subscribers, Aaron, asked me about the situation. Even though I have been watching the situation, it doesn't really show. We don't really have the true numbers because we do not, in Ukraine, they do not have the tests. They do not have enough of they don't have enough of supplies to really estimate the situation. You guys have to understand this. So isolation is just about the only option for Ukrainian people to stay away from the virus. Uh, Yet, as I just mentioned, it's not option for everybody because unfortunately people do not think about tomorrow, and most of Ukrainian people do not have savings. Many of Ukrainian people cannot even stock up the pantry because they do not have that kind of money, and this is very, very true. So the situation is not that bright and colorful from this perspective, and it's going to be very difficult for this economy, for Ukrainian economy to handle anything like that. People are very unhappy with the situation, and gosh, this light is driving me nuts. But okay, well. It's not about the light, it's about the content. So it is going to be an extremely trial time, difficult of a difficulty, because people want not able to get around. We have buses and things like that, but they only let about 10 people in the bus, and we have thousands upon thousands of people that are active and going to work. So it's gonna be, I'm really happy I'm not there, honestly, because I don't think I would be able to be productive. If you are working for some kind of company and you can't even get to your work and you don't have any other opportunities. I wonder, by the way, talking about opportunities, I wonder if people actually will start consider them and coming up with creative ideas how to make money from home, how to use internet finally, and how to stay safe. I definitely believe that such a huge shock and complete break of the system, if you know what I mean, complete the something was working for all of us and all over the world. Every day is pretty much like the day before, but now everything is upside down. We don't know when, not in US, not in Ukraine, people do not know when companies will reopen, when working place will reopen. And it's really a huge time, a very serious period of time where people need to consider other alternative ways of making an impact and making money, and doing some things online, or operating at least part of the business online. uh, of course, some people have been already doing these things. I was joking with a friend the other day, and I told a friend of mine that, I have been already living as if apocalypses already happened. Seriously, because as some of you know, I live in a very small town in Michigan, which is close to Michigan capital, but I cannot live. I could never, I could not imagine, working at the retail store for $8 an hour, because it just would be a waste, waste of time, and waste of skills and of everything. But it was not a world apocalypse, but it was my own apocalypse when I realized that, okay, I am in the middle of nowhere. Yes, I'm in US, but I'm in the middle of nowhere. Life is falling apart. My education is a big question over here, and all of these questions, and also I didn't want to leave my child alone. Back in time, his father was alive, and his father was working, so I was staying with him. So it was all this stuff, and then that fell apart as well. And so I wanted to tell you that a lot of Ukrainian people will feel the same way. At first, they're gonna be shocked, they're gonna be shaken, they're gonna be turned upside down, and be in a total fear. But a lot of them is going to figure this out, and they're gonna find a way to make an impact, to maybe modernize their work, their skills, their business. So, on the bright side of this, it's very possible that people will come up, maybe doctors will come up with online consultations as well. Not, they don't need to see every patient, even though when you think about seeing a doctor, you kind of want to see somebody face to face. Maybe the person who is teacher in school could teach her classes online and get paid a lot better. Maybe people who do any kind of education can consider and create these online learning groups. I do understand that not every business can be made online. You cannot give birth online. You need to be at the hospital, and there are other things, but there are also other things and options. So my hope is that after the shock and the stress, that people will come up with something. Once again, I really hope that after the shake, when your whole universe falls apart, everything you knew is changing. I truly hope that a lot of people will um, still have the strong core, but they will be creative and they come up with something. As I mentioned, all of my businesses are online, and I really love what I do. So I'm already, you can listen to my advice about, the quarantine, because to the large extent, I've been already living like it's a quarantine or apocalypse, just because in my town, we don't have, um, nobody. If I would actually, I have a online boutique with women's clothing, just kind of like a for a retro shop. If I would open this retro shop in Lansing, I'll be now in a situation that this internet would be switched off because nobody in Lansing, like 90% of people, they don't care about first about fashion. It's just not the local market is not the market, but the world market is. Even though, by the way, when I opened my first shop, a lot of people were looking at me like, why are you doing this? It's not, I mean, nobody gonna, people would always tell you stuff, especially those people that do not do anything. But uh, now we're kind of going off season. So I'm also having uh, a seasonal thing. So I'm closing for the summer soon. But there are more things that you can do. And so my point of this video is that I really hope that people in Ukraine will not feel defeated by the shock and change and losing everything. All Not everything, okay, but things that they are used to. But I really hope that they see that as a new opportunity for something. Something can be done, right? So I just want to share this with you guys. I really think that it's going to be very hard and shocking for a while, but human being, we adapt to a lot of things, aren't we? Let me check the chat. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, thank you, Stan. You are amazing too. I appreciate your support very much. um I am trying to tell you and prepare you guys for a lot of irrational um, fears and for a lot of this unknown situation. I know it's uh, messing you up even when you're a stable person. It can really hurt you and make you doubt yourself if you're not that stable. But the point of this video is to inspire you and tell you that we're still going to be living. Things might not be the same, but life will still go on. And so instead of focusing on what we cannot control, such as things closing, people being fired, the connections being cut down and such, we still have our brains, and maybe it is a time for creativity to come up with that idea, with that product, with that using online platforms. If you are an influencer, if you are a teacher, a director, if you work with people, if you help people, maybe there are people who are having psychological services, universities. I really think that a lot of creative ideas can save the world, and then hopefully things will go somewhat or fully, hopefully fully back to normal. But you can use those skills that you learn while you are on quarantine, right? So hopefully the quarantine will be over, but the new skills and new resilience and strengths will not be over. You keep it. Because from my own perspective, when I started my business, I didn't know it's going to be a business. I didn't. And it's just it's of course very little business, but it can allow you to live a decent life. And I was just playing around. I was just thinking, what do I do? How do I not leave my child in a daycare for some other people to care for the child? How do I find something to do in a small town where honestly there is no jobs that I would want to have here in my little town? So you can focus on these things, so you can find something that maybe you can do. And so I really hope that a lot of you also start to discover your skills and talents. We talked today. I talked today with some of my subscribers, and they were telling me, I might record a video. I might start performing my guitar on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. I might start to create my audience or give my support advice online. So I really hope that people will consider this challenge, this trying time, this difficult time, but that people will consider to be creative and just develop new skills. Of course, you cannot expect, even if you are, the person, let's say you are a hairstylist, you are hands-on, you need to have a person. But, what if you open a YouTube channel and you talk about how to color hair at home? Because that's the reality right now. Yeah, I was just thinking that, if all of us women will stop going to beauty salons and doing our nails and hair and skin, it's gonna be scarier than coronavirus in a couple of months. We're gonna be looking scarier than coronavirus. So if you are if you are I can't stop laughing, I'm sorry. I just imagine old women, with messed up hair, messed up eyebrows, messed up eyelashes. I still had not made my nails because I wanted them to rest. But I'm glad I didn't make them at the salon because salons are closed right now. So I'm gonna be doing my own. Yes, John, there are things that scarier than coronavirus. Okay. And that is women without their beauty treatments. But once again, if you are a girl or a guy, you can open a channel online and say, hey, this is how you color hair at home, this is how you care for your hair. Hey, there is so much opportunities that we had never used. And as I try to say also, I was outside today, I was making a video, but unfortunately it died. I was trying to share with you guys that, yes, it's uncomfortable. We cannot go socialize. It's uncomfortable that all the pleasurable things of going out are shut down. But it would have been hell of a lot of more uncomfortable if we would not have connection, if we would not have internet, electricity, water, and housing. That would be a lot more uncomfortable. That would be a lot more challenging, to be without those things. So I really think we still have a lot. And thank you again so much for support, Stan. And all of you guys who have been joining Patreon, supporting the super chats and just kind of spreading the message, commenting, and doing good things. I appreciate that, and I hope that you get your inspiration back. This time, as we are waiting for life to start again, The best thing is to get yourself busy. If you know you're losing money too, you're suffering too, um, come up with some idea. Start to brainstorm, develop a new skill, take some online classes, learn some Russian. I don't know. Find a way to not lose in this. To We all gonna lose this way or another. I already know that. I know that there is probably not a line right now for specific items that I sell, but I understand. So it's time to readjust. Maybe have some more lower cost items. Maybe creating a service online. I truly hope that people will see this major world crisis as an opportunity. I really do. So I want to hear from you guys. I'm tired of talking. Also, I've heard that YouTube now having some changes and a lot of people do not see my live videos. Yeah, and it is so funny. In Russia and Belarus, they kind of denying the coronavirus, so that's gonna be very interesting. This is just how I am. I was going to make a video about how things really bad in Ukraine, and now we're turning it around and we're talking about, what you can do. But just so you understand, even I wasn't through the war. I wasn't through starvation, through real starvation. My grandparents were in World War II, and they were through starvation. They were through worst parts of communism. I was basically growing up in a post-USSR time. Um, Wayne, be quiet over there. um, so anyway, as people, as a nation, our people may not be terribly panicking, the regular people, about coronavirus, because they've been through so much crap already. They are panicking about the subway being closed, about the jobs being shut down. They are concerned about these things, but it's not gonna stop the life. We have been through a lot of stuff. I'm gonna go live in some stores when I go shopping and show how many things are still available. I do think it's a good idea to stock some shelves, but without being crazy. But in 90s, when I was a child and I would go shopping, we had this time when things had changed, and old people back then, we we had empty shelves and they were not about to get restocked. So we've seen this. It wasn't worldwide, it wasn't like that, but it's just a thing of just really focusing on what you can do meanwhile, and finding a way to help others, finding a way to execute your gifts and create new skills. And I think that should be worldwide too. Anyway, guys, you better be quiet over there. Yeah, Wayne, how about you record the video? We talked about, being a little bit more outgoing, and it helps. So how about that? How about you talk for me and I can just chill and drink some tea? Hmm? My friend, what do you think about that? So those of you who are my Patreon subscribers, or Patreon supporters, I will post a link on Patreon homepage on Monday for our first Zoom call. I want us to connect and have a little bit of just open mic party. I know on the YouTube channel, it's my channel and it's why I talk. People would rather like it or find it helpful, or they would not be here. But I would like to give you an opportunity to be social, to get some support, to share your thoughts. So it's going to be an open mic so everybody can share. It's freestyle basically, and it's gonna happen. It's scheduled for Monday, this coming Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern to 8 p.m. Eastern. We're just gonna give it a shot. Usually, so this call is usually for the 30 plus tier, but due to coronavirus and just because this time we're just gonna invite everybody who is on the page, who is in the group basically. So if you can make it, join. I'll be happy to see you over there. Yes, and you, Wayne, too, by the way. You're gonna be the main speaker. You're gonna be the speaker of the house. Okay, let me read. Yes, it's John, it's so important to be outdoors. I have this crazy white lighting, but if you would see me, it'd be like red from being out. It's extremely, guys, I want to tell you, please don't be lazy. Go outdoors because we don't know. Um, we might have police cars, telling us you can't go out. So while you can go out to walk a dog or to just walk yourself, to go in the nature, you should take all the opportunities to do that. I was just pulling your leg, Wayne. Don't get upset. I'm just being playful. It's nothing personal. Come on now. I mean, it's very personal, but if you've been watching my videos for a while, you already know. You're more than welcome to put your comments. I have to put you on the spot, right? Because if I don't put you guys on the spot, it will be boring. Yeah, outdoors are great, guys. I hope you all, have some a possibility to go out. You just must, because it is amazing. It was a beautiful day today. It was just stunning. I think the nature, the world, the God, the universe, they want to take a break from our business. Everything stops. The airplane, the land, everything stops. I don't think if ever in history of humanity this happened like that. So we have to go out and enjoy the peace. People don't bother you. Nobody yelling. Nobody doing anything. Just go out and breathe. Oh. Yep, it is a clear proof of apocalypse. Oh. Yes, and this is another thing, about apocalypse. It's also a huge question to our lives. Are you ready? It just tells you that it's not stupid, it's not silly to have some things ready in case of emergency. It's nice to have a backup plan, um, and be responsible and be ready. But I tell you what, living in Michigan prepares you for apocalypse, at least for somebody from Ukraine. So if somebody from Ukraine, you know, especially from the city with 5 million people, can still find and do what they passionately love in a town in Michigan that has 5,000 people, it just gives the hope that you can always find something to do. You can always do Apocalypse? Yeah, no. Some part of Michigan is apocalypse. Exactly. But you know what? It just tells you that you can find a way. Of course, I'm joking, and I'm not, by the way, the best example. Uh, I actually, but at the same time, yes, I mean, I faced a major crisis because, I came here for one reason, and then things turned out completely 180 degrees. And then I was torn between, the desire to do something, but wanted to be a mother, and it was a disaster. Don't get it as a fairy tale. It was a disaster. I was a girl who just gave up not give up on herself, but was deeply just in pain. Like, it was so painful because everything I wanted just fall apart one day. So major crisis is a greatest chance for growth. When everything falls apart, you can start over, you can reverse, you can turn a new leaf, or completely turn yourself over. Sometimes you need that when you need completely burned to the ground, so you can come up and spring as a flower again. So that's part of my story, and I'm sure those of you who watching my videos, you have your stories when you felt like all the doors were closed and everything fall apart, but then you found yourself again. So it's not over unless you decide it to be over. Yes, exactly, Stan. Yes, nice job. Wow, Wayne, you are a sought after man. You have plenty of toilet paper. Wow. If any ladies are watching me, I'm telling you, this man is prepared. Yes, dehydrated foods in the garage. Excellent. Being an Eagle Scout, I have a month's worth of dehydrated foods. It's so weird. I like to make fresh food, and as I said, it's almost like I have been living in a apocalypse because I cook every day. Something simple, but I make fresh food every day. So I didn't have really a pantry thing because I don't eat that kind of stuff. But guess what? I have it now. You just have to sometimes. You learn stuff. So life helps you. Sometimes you have to change. And I was joking with a friend of mine yesterday. Also, we were talking, and I said, "Hey, make America cook again." Because most Americans live either on the fast food, or they go out to bars or restaurants to eat. And we were laughing so hard. I had tears in my eyes because when I said that make America cook again, somebody else heard it, and it was just really, really funny. It's amazing, how we have to have our survival skills, right? By the way, Ukrainian and Russian people are really good with survival skills. So hopefully I'll have time to, work on the nails and hair, so it won't be as bad as coronavirus. Oh my god, I'm dying. So we were actually joking also about, the beauty procedures, and things that women do as a beauty salons, like coloring the roots and the nails, and everything you lucky bastards don't have to worry about. So and I said this phrase that there are things that are there are things that are scarier than coronavirus, which is the overgrown nails and hair with roots and all the other stuff, and And we just were laughing so hard because we imagine all these and we just imagine like the nightmare that you guys are not ready for this. But hey, again, if you live in America, in a small town America, you face you face things worse than coronavirus. You feel you see women who just wake up and go to work. Nails and hair are survival skills, Rain. It's true. So, yes. So, when my favorite beauty shop closes, you guys better be here for me. All right? Well, my favorite beauty shop right now is Amazon because that's about the only thing that's open, and also some Etsy shops too. That's another thing, most of Russian and Ukrainian ladies know how to do home spa and all of that. So, war paint, yes. Yep, makeup survival skill. Yeah, right. Well, but it's kind of weird. Um, People in Ukraine, I was, they are a lot more put together, and they, consider it's a daily effort to, to dress, to do your hair and stuff like that. But, living in Michigan, I mean, seriously, I mean, I feel like Stan just mentioned, I feel pretty much apocalypse ready, seriously. So, guys, I hope you enjoy this chat. I have to go. I don't know if I'll keep this video or not, with you guys being sassy over here. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you, Roma. You are so sweet. I won't read your comments just because of how humble I am. I'm just kidding, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. But it's interesting. A lot of Ukrainian women, they can be flirtatious and playful, but when the times are hard, they're gonna do anything and everything they can to take care of their family and things like that. So sometimes, though, when you have to be strong for too long, you becoming a man. So that is a problem. Sometimes when you have to be strong for too long and you have to play the man role or dealing with really immature people, you lose that playfulness, you lose that all that beautiful feminine aura. So don't let that happen, guys. Thank you, guys. Keep flattering me. Thank you so much, everybody. I really hope that we'll have more fun. Once again, those of you who are on Patreon, you will see an update shortly with the link. I hope to see you there. Thank you for being here, guys. Try to find, refocus. Switch off the goddamn news. I'm telling you, I watched some news today. It's not working out. Maybe one time an update, what's going on in the world. We are addicted to bad and scary and negative, but seriously, focus on something positive, something you can do today, something that can make you feel stronger, better, more fulfilled, happier, inspired. We have to keep living, okay? Every day is precious day, no matter what. So go online, open your YouTube channel. I'll be watching ya, okay? Thank you so much, and I will see you very soon.